Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you already know, you can't sit with me unless you are POP, and that is pretty on purpose. How you doing? So, as you all know, this month is Cancer Awareness Month, and I have three beautiful women sit with me who have all experienced and gone through and fought and kept going on and being these amazing, powerful black women that have dealt with this issue that is going on that so many people are angry at, mad about, and always ask the question, why is it here and why do we all have to go through it? So I decided I want to get my mom, my aunt, my sister, because I just want to get their views, and I really never asked how they felt going through this. And I think a lot of people out there, when I did my video on my friend Shanitra, they were like, Zoe, that really touched me, and you've helped me, you motivated me to keep going, and they're just like, you just don't understand how that experience that you gave us pushed me to keep going and being a stronger woman. And men out there too, I tried to invite a guy, but I guess he was camera shy and he didn't come. But I just wanted guys to know too, it is real in the male community as well. And to, just make sure you get yourself checked and know yourself and take care of your body and things like that. I have some questions they do not know. The questions I'm gonna ask them, so I hope they're not nervous. Say your names, and if you wanna say how old you are, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So we're gonna start this way, go down.
Okay. Frida, I'm 46.
Sheila, 62. And Sandra, 65 on the 28th.
I don't know if y'all are still going through cancer or if it's gone now. We're gonna get through that question in a minute, but living with cancer changes people's lives. How has it changed your life living or going through it?
For me, at the time I was diagnosed with cancer, the doctor said it was pre-cancer. However, the doctors are now telling me there's no such thing as pre-cancer. How has it changed my life? It has made me appreciate life more. I don't take life for granted, because you never know what may happen in your life.
For me, at the time, I was 24 years old. Being that young, it taught me at an early age, like your mom said, to appreciate life, to live life to its fullest, and also be aware of your own body. And you have to be your own health advocate, because at that age, they told me I was too young for a mammogram. So I went for a sonogram. They said they didn't see anything. It was just a cyst. So you have to be persistent as well. So I persisted, and pushed them to do a biopsy. Had the biopsy, and that's when they discovered that it was cancerous. So if I had not advocated for my own health, then, things could have been different.
By you being 24, how did that affect you? Because I know 24, oh my gosh, I would have shut down and cried, and that's why. How did you feel at the age of 24? Did you feel like life was over, or did you feel like, what, I can get through this?
Yeah, when you initially hear the word cancer, you automatically think it's a death sentence. And my doctor, she immediately told me, shake it off. You're not gonna die, you're gonna live. And it's been 20 years, over 20 years since my diagnosis, so I'm still here.
I found out in 2015 that I had cancer. I went to my primary care physician and for something else, and while I was there, I told her, look at my breast, my nipple is sinking in on my right side. And she said, well, let me take a look. And when she looked, she immediately sent me to have a diagnostic mammogram done. And when they did that, they sent me from there to my cancer doctor. And my family, my sister, Sandra and Sylvia, they both went with me when I was told that I did have cancer in my right side.
And how did that make you feel? At that moment, what were you thinking, and how did you feel?
At that moment, I was I sort of knew it was something, but I didn't really want to accept it until she finally said, yes, you do have cancer. And the next thing was when she told me that they saw a spot on my left breast. So that's when I had to make the decision whether I was just going to have my right breast removed, or if I was going to have both removed, and I chose both. And even at that, I was going through the reconstruction, having a mastectomy. I was having the expanders put in, but I had to have the one in my left side removed, my left breast removed, because my body wouldn't accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I realized my body wouldn't accept it and I kept getting infection in that left side, I decided I didn't want to even do the implants, reconstruction.
It is said that most diseases come from the types of food that we eat. Why do you think more people are being diagnosed with cancer, even though they're eating a lot of the same things as people from previous generations?
I think it's because of the chemicals in our food. I never smoked.
Mm-hmm.
My sister never smoked. Frida has never smoked. So it has to be the food. I am blessed because I have not had to go through what they've gone through. I've only had to deal with radiation. However, it was scary as well. I was in my 40s, but I think it's the food.
And
The chemicals in the
food.
environment.
And just the environment, the air, the water, it's contamination all around us, as well as, the food and what they feed the food or what they grow it with.
Chemicals.
Yeah.
So does that make you, have you been more cautious of what you eat, or do you just say, you know what, God got this, I'm gonna
always
eat what I
been
want?
cautious about what I eat, what I ate, but at 24, my mom, she just was always a health fanatic. So at 24, I was healthy. And for me, I didn't find out until my second diagnosis that I actually had the BRCA1 gene. So it didn't matter what I ate or what I changed, the lifestyle change. It was just I had a higher percentage chance of getting breast cancer and a reoccurrence.
As far as the environment, my doctor, around the time when I found out, it was quite a few of my friends from where I live, they come up with cancer. And my doctor was saying, you ought to get them to do some kind of research of laying there, so study, because it's just too many coming up with cancer.
How did you manage to remain strong during your battle?
I remained strong because of you all. My kids were young. I did not let y'all become aware of what I was going through. I continued to go to work every day. Throughout all my treatments, it was every day for 7 weeks after I got out from work. And I had to come home and do my motherly and wifely duties. So I just stayed positive. I made myself stay positive because cancer had not been known in our family. I was the second one from my oldest brother. And I just didn't want anybody to feel sorry for me.
Right.
And because I didn't want the pity, I made myself stay strong. And I've had a lot of faith that God would take care of me. The people that went with me at my initial announcement of cancer was my brother and my husband.
And how did my dad or your husband, how did he take it when he heard it?
He stayed positive because he knew he had to for me. My brother was a little hurt because our oldest brother had cancer. Parents didn't have it, grandparents didn't have it. So it was like, wait a minute now, that's 2. And now we're looking at 3, now 4. So it has taken a toll, but we're still staying strong with the help of the Lord.
I stayed strong with my faith in God, first of all, and then my family. My family was around me the whole entire time, with my sisters, my brother, nieces, great nieces, great nephew. Everyone was just there for me. And I also feel like that with me, I wouldn't sit still when I was feeling well. I wanted to keep going because I felt like if I sat still, I would give up. So I continued to work also. And I think that helped me a lot.
Yeah, same as them. My faith in God and my family. At the time, my son was 2 years old. And we had just moved into our first home. And I said, I just did not want another woman to raise my child. And that gave me a reason to fight, And so that's what I did. I'm like, no, she won't be living here. She won't raise my child, none of that.
Plus, she had to fight because she had to do my hair.
Yeah, I had to fight too. Yeah, and I continued to work throughout the whole time too. bald head. I had completely bald and doing everybody's hair.
Okay, and now that you mentioned that, I know you said you had both your breasts removed and you said you had lost hair. Mm-hmm. Did that make you feel different as a woman? And how did you make yourself feel like I'm still beautiful and I'm still strong, I'm still powerful with all the things that make a woman, they feel a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like your hair and your breasts makes you a woman. How did you deal with that?
That's the thing. It is emotional. You know, when you're having your body attacked as a woman, you feel like, you know, that's part of my sexuality. Mm-hmm. That's how I nurture my children. For me, it was hard because I had just lost a baby. Mm. And that's how I found out I had breast cancer. You know, I went in after I had miscarried and the doctor was like, well, I told her, I said, well, I feel, you know, a lump in my breast. It feels kind of heavy, feels kind of pain, like I still had breast from pregnancy or whatever. Mm-hmm. She was just like, okay, well, we'll check it out. She did the manual exam first. And like I said, I eventually miscarried. Mm-hmm. And for me, like, you know, I feel like I had an angel watching over me because, you know, to miscarry and then just a couple of weeks later you find out you have breast cancer. It was kind of devastating, you know. Like I said, I feel like I had an angel watching over me after losing the baby, and I had my other son, Tyler, to, you know, look after, and my husband, of course, Leonard, he was my best friend, my nurse, you know, he took care of me, and that helps a lot.
It really didn't affect me that much, and I feel like it was because I had my sister that had went through it, and she had lost her hair, her older sister. And when my hair started coming out, it was just like, okay, it's hair. Right. And then when my breasts, when I couldn't get the implants, I was like, okay, it's just breasts. They don't define me. Right. Exactly. But you're gonna have, people will have to speak up for themselves because no matter how much I told the surgeon that I didn't want to have implants done, she still left the extra skin there, thinking that down the road I was going to change my mind. And no, I knew that I was not going to change my mind. So now it will be like going through another major surgery to get that removed. And I'm just fine with the way it is. I'm fine. I walk around the house, I'm fine.
Right. So there's a lot of women who follow my social media, and there's a lot of people who have reached out to me who said that they're dealing with it, or their mom is dealing with it, or somebody they know has passed or is dealing with it. What is something encouraging that you would tell them to help motivate whoever's going through it, and the person that's going through it? What would you tell them?
The person
that's going through it, and then the person who has to help them get through it. Like me, if I have to help my mom, what would you tell me? Like, hey, this is how you can help your mom, or whoever. So both people.
So the person that's going through it, I would just say be encouraged. Meditation helps, prayer helps, music, laughter. Laughter is good for the soul. That was my best thing, you know, to just keep laughing, keep moving, stay positive.
That's it.
Yeah, and for the person that is supporting you, just be there. Sometimes it's not even you have to say anything or just being there. Just show up.
And it's not necessarily something you want them to ask you questions about every day.
Yeah.
Just live life as you lived life before.
Exactly.
And if you let me continue living life as a normal, then I feel like it's going to be okay.
Because you don't want to hear how you feel. Are you okay constantly? Because a lot of times when you hear how you feel, you okay, you start tearing up. You know, you just want them to just talk to you like normal and just go on and treat you like normal.
See, because I've never really asked y'all these questions. It's just like, it's good to hear that because I haven't gone through that, but you know, you go through like your depression and stuff, but it's nothing like what you guys have been through. Y'all are so strong, and to me, people who have gone through it or are still going through it, y'all make me a stronger person. You motivate me like, shoot, what I'm going through is just worried about somebody not liking me or bills. This is something serious. So when I be telling people, y'all over here crying about silly stuff, when there are people who are really fighting for their body, fighting for life, and you're sad about how I'm gonna get to work or how I'm gonna do this, that's little stuff.
Right.
So how many times have y'all had to fight or go through it? Like, didn't you have to go through it? Came back how many times?
Yes, in 1998 was the first time, and then 2010 was the second time.
I've been cancer-free since 2015.
Oh, to be honest, I'm thinking it's been since 2004. I don't allow myself to think about it because I've always heard it comes back. And with so many people in my family going through it, I just allow myself to stay positive. I just allow myself to say, I went through it. When I hear the doctors tell me it wasn't pre-cancer, it was cancer, I say, okay, it was cancer, but now I have a deflated one and I have a full one. I always tease Frida about that. And I tell her nobody talk to me about getting any type of implant or anything. I just like me as I am. I'm not going to do any more breastfeeding, so it's fine with me.
So is there anything y'all want to say to anybody before we wrap it up? Because y'all answered some really good questions. Or is there anything that I missed over that you feel people need to be aware about?
I just wanted to mention that last year I started a nonprofit for single moms that are going through breast cancer. I was at my doctor's office when she came in getting my health exam, my breast exam, and she came and asked me to put my clothes back on and to go talk to a single mom that was there alone that had just received a diagnosis. Several months after that, my cousin, Ebony, a single mom of 2 beautiful daughters, she received a diagnosis. And it's like, okay, I gotta do something. And so I talked with Ebony and we came up with Lotus, which stands for Ladies of Triumph United Survivors. And I initially wanted to do it to help her, but she was like, if you help me, then I want to help somebody else. And so that's what made me move forward and do all the paperwork. It's 501c3. It's a real nonprofit. And we just try to help single moms financially that are going through it, whether it's, groceries, light bills, utilities. From time to time, maybe if we have something a little extra, we do things for the kids and include them too, because it's important that your kids know that you're okay. And that was my thing too. Mama Stan said she didn't talk about hers, but with me, I did let Tyler know. I initially tried to shelter him from it, but one of my nurses came in and I was being treated at home at the time, and she was like, don't keep shooing him away. I will tell him what's going on, that we're trying to make you better. And he understood, and that made a big difference to him to be able to say, well, at 2 years old, I want to be a doctor to make my mom better. You know what I mean? And so that's what Lotus is about. And I do have a website. It's lotusinc.org. You can donate, and I appreciate any donations, big or small. And we plan to have more events. Last year we did an event in February because, again, it's for single moms, and we want to celebrate survival, but also celebrate single moms. And a lot of times they get looked over for Valentine's Day. So that was like a big thing. My passion was to love on them.
As a counselor in the elementary school, I say if your kids are aware, talk to them, let them know that you're okay. Don't act as though it doesn't exist. Mine was easy because I did not tell you all. And
we were kind of older at the time too. We weren't young. We weren't older, but we were middle. Oh, we didn't know that.
I'm not gonna say that. However, I feel like once a child is aware of any situation and they talk to you about it, you need to talk to them. Don't just dismiss their interests. Don't dismiss their concerns. Let them know everything is okay. Be it health, whatever. Discuss situations with them. But as I said, I never thought the end, so I kept mine to myself with my husband. And my friends didn't even know till it was all over. Because that's just the way I wanted it at that time. It was a new thing for me. And
everybody's journey is different. One of my aunts was a mentor. She had it prior. She was, 20 years out. And so, she was able to, talk to me about it and mentor me. So, I became a little more open. Your diagnosis is different. Your treatment's different.
Even with 3 sisters and 2 brothers, it has been different for us. My oldest brother started with throat. Then it went to the brain, and he stayed extremely positive, although he's lost his battle. My sister, she stayed positive to the very end, and hers was very quick, but she stayed positive. And my brother, over her, he just never felt anything. He was fine, you know, even through his treatment. So, like Frida said, everybody handled it differently. But however it is, be ready to accept them where they are. And don't try to make them feel the way you think they should feel.
Right.
And with me, not only did I have my family and my faith, I had this young lady that worked with me. And she discovered she had breast cancer maybe a month before I did. And we was able to just sit and talk, and things that she had went through before I went through. You know, she could tell me some of the things that she was experiencing. Although, like you said, everybody's road was different. Everybody's journey was different. And I guess I got strength because normally I'm very quiet, and I would, you know, just talk to people, or I would, when I would get up in church, I would testify of my healing, even though I was still going through it. Even though some days I felt bad and didn't want to go to church, I would get up and go anyway. And I had different church members coming and telling me how I had encouraged them. And that just helped me too, knowing that I helped someone some kind of way.
And that's what it's all about.
Make sure you guys go to my description. It's going to have her website where y'all can go and check them out, and you can donate if you want. And it is at lotusinc.org. It's for the single mothers who are dealing with cancer, going through, or whatever. So make sure you go check it out because she's awesome. She's a sweet lady. It's my sister, honey. So y'all go check her out, support, and be that change in life. And all you right now, you're cancer free, right?
Yes.
And they're cancer free, you guys. So I just want to let y'all know, after hearing their stories, I hope that motivates you to not give up and to know that it is possible and you can fight through this. And if you only believe, have faith, have your friends and your family, and keep God first. Never question anything. Like my aunt said, when I go through stuff, I don't question things. I just always be like, whatever you have me going through, God, it is meant for me because you put that battle on me because you knew that I can handle it. And as you can see, these three handle theirs perfectly fine. Don't worry. Don't doubt yourself. Stay strong. Stay motivated. And stay blessed because God only made one you. And if you don't be you, then nobody else will. Cue the music.
It's me.